Hello, everyone. It's Lori Staley, Addicted Stamper with Stampin' Up. It is Tuesday, March 4th at noon, so let's make some cards. If you are on, please give me a shout out. Let me know that you're here with me. It is just now noon, so I'll give everybody a minute or two to find me. Hey, Carol Deegan. Good morning, Deborah. Hi, Melinda. Thanks, ladies, for tuning in. I appreciate that. Hope you're having a good Tuesday morning. Who's getting their Fosnots today? I don't have a whole lot of housekeeping other than to remind you that the online exclusives for March have released, along with a couple new kits, I believe. So make sure you're going into the Stampin' Up! Store and checking out all those goodies. I happen to think this is one of the best releases we've had for online exclusives. There's a lot of great stuff out there, so make sure you're checking that out. Hey, Donna, good to see you. Um, so that's happening. You still have time to register for Paper Pumpkin. That will be the 10th is the last day that you can register for that. And remember, it's our birthday month, so you'll get an extra stamp set in your kit. So you might want to check that out. And this is the Just Cards class for March. You can earn the PDF for these cards with a minimum $35 product order on my website using this month's host code. When your order reaches $45 in product, you'll also earn the free card kit. So if you're long distance, we ask for $5 to help cover the mailing costs. There's also an in-person class that will be the second Tuesday of April at 3 p.m. here at my home in Dillsburg. Or you can get the class to go if you're local and do a porch pickup. So lots of ways to get those in your hands. Those orders do have to be placed, of course, by the end of March, March 31st. And if you are local and are going to be coming to the class, you need to let me know that so I'm sure I have enough seating available. Oh, you're leaving for the bus and you must be feeling better. That's awesome. 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 Um, you're leaving in 15 minutes, so I guess I won't see you for a while, huh? When do you get there? All right. And then the only other thing I have is these were the cards that we did to send off celebration with a bang, right? And we made this cute little thank you card. And then this pretty just because I care. And then the easel card, right? So cute. And the winner of these is Betty Lynn. So congratulations, Betty. Thank you so much for watching and commenting and sharing the video. All of those things, of course, plus the thumbs up gets you into the drawing for the projects that we make. All right. That, I think, is all the housekeeping. So we're going to hop into today's projects. So how many of you have tried out the ephemera packs that Stamping Up is now offering? And I truly believe that those packs came out as a result of us moving more into the scrapbooking field again. We had been there years ago. When I first joined, we even had a separate scrapbooking catalog, but we kind of left that behind and focused on our core, which was stamping, cards, home decor, etc. But now that we're going back in, they've introduced ephemera packs. Has anybody tried those yet? Oh, thank you, Deborah. I appreciate that. Hey, Corinne. Well, I tried them at Christmas and I really liked them. And then this greeting set of ephemera came out. And this one is called Greetings for All Mix and Match Ephemera Pack. I am in love with this because it's one less thing I have to stamp. And the greetings are nice and they cover all kinds of occasions. And we have, of course, the ones that are printed on white. And we even have some that we can color in if we want to customize the color to our project. So you get, I have 3 sheets here and I'm not really sure how that happened. But you get, oh no, there are 3 sheets of white. There are 3 sheets of white greetings, lots of different sayings in here. And then there are the black background, which is really sharp, I think. and you get 3 of those. So um, that's 6 full sheets of greetings that you can use on your projects. The other thing I like about them is I used to do classes at a retirement home, and those ladies often shook. So stamping a greeting for them was even more difficult than stamping an actual image. These would be perfect to take in to someone who might have that issue with their hand shaking and still want to create beautiful cards. They're also great for your kiddos that want to come into the stamp room and stamp with you. So if you have not looked at all the different ephemera packs, and there's lots of them out there with images as well. So make sure you're checking those out. They're in the front of the current mini catalog. You'll find a bunch. So you can check those out. So we are going to do a couple cards that I actually did at my team meeting on Friday night, which was lots of fun. I already shared everybody's projects with you that they did for the contest for the cards. But how about this one? I pulled out a stamp set that's been sitting on my shelf for quite a while, Stippled Rose, and I haven't given it enough love. So, and then we're using the mixed media floral background paper on that. Poppy Parade is the red that we're using. Oh, that'll be fun, Deborah. That'll be great. Yes, definitely try them out. They're fun, and they make it just a little bit easier for us, right? So Poppy Parade, standard 5.5 by 8.5 card base, and then we're just going to layer up with some basic black to make the designer series paper pop a little bit more. And black and red always create a real great visual effect. Okay, this is going to go on our card front. And even though this is a fairly simple card, I think it's kind of a wow with those color combinations, right? And then we have another layer. This almost looks like we heat embossed it, but we did not. We pulled in one of the greetings from the ephemera pack. And they just pop out. So they're perforated. They'll just pop out for you. I'm going to lay that up here while I do some stamping. Grab my Poppy Parade ink pad. Set this aside for a second while I grab my basic white. And this is a larger stamp. So you've seen me do this before, right? I'm actually going to take my ink pad to the stamp. It's easier on my hand, first of all, and I'm more likely to get good even coverage if I do it this way, right? And if I go catty corner, this should fit on here. And if you hear a paper trimmer, my wonderful helper is Cindy is over there cutting for me. I don't know if you can hear that or not. I said sometimes Zoom will mute background noises, so I'm not sure if you're hearing that because it mutes the heat tool, right? That always cracks me up when I emboss with you. All right, I love that image. We are going to die cut that. I also like this sleeve, and I might try something different on the inside of our card than I did on the original design, just because it popped into my head last night. Okay. So we're just going to die cut this. And we're going to see if, I can't remember when I bring it, I just flipped. Now, why did I flip? Oh, I see why I flipped. Hold on. That was weird. Never had that happen before. Let's see if it brings me back. Let's hope. Let's hope it does. I bet you if I put this over here, I'm going to flip again, though. Oh, good. I'm back. Okay. Well, that was strange. But we're going to bring in the die cutting machine, and don't look at my well-loved plates. I still I'm going to be at convention. I'm going to talk to a couple of those ladies out there and say, what do you always have a non-used plate for your lives? But with me, you kind of get what you see, all right? And this is my reality. My plates get a lot of love. All right. So now, am I bouncing you around? Tell me. Did that shake the table for you? Because I don't want to make anybody seasick. And that is our beautiful image. And I'm going to flip it around. Some of the ladies said they flipped it around. But no, this is the way they did it. We'll see which one we like better. What do you think? I'm going to grab my dimensionals, bring back the sample so you can see that. A little bit. Okay. Yep. All right. So we'll just continue to do that off screen. Lots of dimensionals on this guy. I'm such a creature of habit. I did learn to use my take your pick tool and pick several of these up at a time, but I still just do it with my fingers. Who uses their take your pick tool and who uses their fingers? I'm curious. Put that right there. And we're going to find our greeting. I'm going to grab my silicone pad if it's handy so that I can put adhesive on this, and it is not. So I'll try to do it without putting sticky on my mat. There's our happy birthday. Mount this to my card front. And I'm going to grab some sparkle gems and add a little sparkle up in the corner. If they'll come out of the package. I always end up with lots of pieces and parts to my gems. So we cut them up for the classes. So I'm just using the silver and I'm going to put it right in the corner. Okay. And then we're going to bring in, that was a large one, and then I'm going to do two smalls. My trio, if you will. Okay. Make sure that black's not slightly crooked. There we go. Move these out of the way. And then on the inside, you can see we used lots of ink. This one's a little more muted than the one that we did for the sample from Friday night. But I'm going to try and see what I think of this. So there's a leaf image in there. And we're going to find our garden green ink. And I'm going to try adding a little interest on the inside. Simply by putting that down here in the corner. And then I used a greeting from Sketched Butterflies. So I know Beautiful Butterflies is a big hit right now. This is actually Sketched Butterflies that I'm using. This one's been in the annual catalog. I think it made it for 2 turns now, right? So that's where my greeting is going to come from. And we're going to do that in You used to take your pick fingers. Oh, thanks, Carol. I'm glad you like it. Wishing you a beautiful birthday. I'm not ignoring that little mark. I'm going to see what I can do with it to see if I can correct it, or I might have to restamp. But for right now, picked up an edge on that stem a little bit. I really like that. What do you think? That's the inside of the one we're doing today. This was the inside from the original. I think that adds a lot to it. Why I didn't think of that before. Process improvements, right? All right, so that is project number 1, and that used the happy birthday in the black background. So that's kind of cool. All right, let's move these out of the way. And we'll go to project number 2. So speaking of beautiful butterfly, how about this guy? Again, mixed floral is my background paper, mixed media floral, I should say, the 12 by 12. I absolutely love that pack of paper. And I have a class planned with that, hopefully in the future. I'm trying to get my March creativity delivered done, and there's a lot of other things pulling me in different directions, sadly. All right, so we are going to, this is just thick basic white that I have for my card front. And I'm going to emboss it with the 3D embossing folder. Line up the fold with the top edge, and then the butterfly right about there. Now my sandwich for this is going to be simply the platform, the big thick platform, right? I think that's plate 1. And then the specialty plate, which is plate 4. So that is the sandwich, because this is a 3D. I'm going to put the fold on the side. Remember, don't ever put the fold in the back, but you can do the side or, of course, at the top without risking damaging it. And the only reason I say that is because if you use an embossing folder a lot and you're putting it through with the fold in the back, all the pressure of the rollers is hitting that every single time. And consequently, you end up with it starting to crack or even split. We are going to grab the detailed butterfly. Well, why don't I grab the label too while I'm doing that? I'm going to lay that aside. Let's try the mini. I think these both will fit through the mini. See if this one shakes the table. Anybody have the mini machine? You can see I use it just as hard as my big machine because these plates are also very loved, right? I keep wanting to hold that and use it as a stencil. I will at some point, I'm sure. And then we have a piece of boho blue. I'm going to miss boho blue. I said before I have to order some, and I keep forgetting to do it since that's the logo color for my retreat house. And there's our label. So you're gonna hear a noise now for sure, because my easiest way to get a lot of the pieces out of a real detailed die cut is to smack it on the side of my trash can. All the pieces go in the trash can, so I'm not chasing them down. And then I just poke it out with my take your pick tool. If it doesn't fly out, because sometimes it'll just pop out on its own. And I've got two little pieces to punch out. Probably could have taken those out with my fingernail. So there we go. So there's our beautiful butterfly. I am going to use Tombow liquid glue. You can use adhesive sheet on the back of this as well. I just never remember. And I'm actually only going to put glue down the body of the die cut so that the wings can fly free, if you will. Let that set for a second. There we go. And then we're going to mount that onto the embossed basic white, right over that large butterfly. And again, I'm just using the body so that I can pop the wings up a little bit. This we're going to mount flat across the top edge. And I'm going to line that up almost with the edge, if not to the edge of the card. We'll grab our sheet of the black background greetings. I think the white on the black just pops, right? And then put our greeting on there. And these two-tone gems, I've talked about these before. I love that. You smack it on the table. Yeah, there you go. You have the little one. Oh, good. Yeah, I love it. Thanks, Donna. Um, it's just so handy to be able to have it sitting right beside you on your table, right? Not taking up as much room as the other one does, the large one. That's your workhorse, the big one, right? And I always tell somebody, if you don't have a die cutting machine yet, even though you think you're saving money, and truly a lot of our dies will go through the mini now, it's smarter to get the big one to start, because then everything we offer is going to go through it. And a lot of things that you may find other places will go through it. Not that you would ever do that, I'm sure. But so these are the two-tone gems, and I absolutely love them. They're so pretty and they're so sparkly. And there we go. Oh, Crooked is my middle name these days, and I'm hoping that goes away with the surgery as well, but we'll see. All right. And then on the inside of this, I just did in black again, Time to Celebrate, which comes in the same stamp set, right? That's in the beautiful butterfly stamp set. Stick something on that so it just lays flatter for me while I try to stamp it. There we go. And I'm using black memento. Time to Celebrate. Oops. And then I'm going to take one of the little butterflies from the stamp set and just pop that down here in the corner. Now, I'm not coloring that in, even though that would be my instinct. And the reason I'm not coloring it in is because the blends would bleed through to the back of the card. So we're just going to leave it like that. You could add a layer inside your card in basic white, and then you would be absolutely able to color that butterfly in with your blends. But if we do it now, we're going to end up with it bleeding through the back of the card. So that's why I'm not. What do you think of that one? This camera's really wonky today. I keep trying to adjust where my stuff is on my table, but I'm not sure what's going on. Have to look into that. All right, so that was project number 2. Oh, good. I'm glad you like them, guys. All right. Last one is a masculine card using some of the just released online exclusive products. This is the new paper that is called Woven Textures. And you've got the great braid that I use, plus the backside is a lighter tone. This reminds me of linen. And then we have some straw weave. That's a pattern. And then burlap. That reminds me of burlap, right? Let's see what else is in here. And then this one looks like the bottom of a basket or looking down inside of a basket. And then that reminds me of like webbing on an outdoor chair. So that kind of gives you an idea of what the patterns look like. But great for masculine cards. That out of the way. And this is what I did with it. And I also used our new circle dies, which look like this. These are called Around It All dies. So they are not a standard circle shape. They have a little bit of abnormality to them, if you will. But lots and lots of layers. There are 12 dies in here. So you can layer up as much as you would like using those. And this is a quick card as well. And I'm using a white backed greeting from Greetings for All. So I am using a piece of basic white to mount the designer series paper to. Originally I was going to mount it to the card front, but I knew that I wanted to add some kind of trim or ribbon around there. So this is literally going to line up edge to edge. You won't even be able to see the white, but it gives me something, hello, something to wrap the ribbon around. I'll just lay you aside. And this is just a regular 4x5 1/4. I think thinking of you cards for men is difficult. So this gave me the perfect pattern paper to work with. And then we have this polka dot trim. Now this is on Last Chance, but it has those textures, right? So it works perfectly with this paper. And guess what? We're just going to trim that because I can't get it off. There we go. And there we go. So we're going to wrap this around. I'm going to lay some adhesive down to help hold it into place. But this ribbon is very stiff. And it does not really have any respect, if you will, for the seal to hold it in place. So I know some of you probably do this with all ribbons. I just do it with this type of ribbon. I'm going to bring in some Scotch tape and I'm going to tape my ends down. And now that's not going to go anywhere. But it is a great ribbon to go with these papers. I also don't like, because it's so stiff, it stands up on the card front. So I'm going to grab my take your pick tool and just slide some glue dots under there to help hold it in place. And I think one more. Somebody came to me a couple of weeks ago. I think we were crafting at the nest, and she had this in a box, and she said, "Tell me why I bought this." I said, "Because you can't live without it. At least I can't." Um, so yeah, that's I can't live without that tool. I use it for everything. And so I showed her a few quick things, and she's like, "Oh yeah, now I get it. Now I get it." Let's bring the mini back in one last time, and the plates. We're gonna cut. Oops, cut that circle. Feels funny calling it a circle because to me a circle has straight edges, but this is just gives us a little bit more interest. Okay. But I am also one more amount of texture that I can add to this is to emboss it. So I'm going to emboss it with the Cane 3D embossing folder. That's one of my go-tos as well. And it has the same sandwich. It has plate one, which is the thick platform, and then plate four, which is of course the specialty plate. And now I've got texture on that as well. We are going to pop this up with dimensionals. And I have to figure out kind of how I want it to look on there. I think I'm going to go that way so that I know where to put my dimensionals at the top and the bottom, because putting a dimensional on a strip of ribbon is not always your best. If the ribbon let goes, then your label or your mount will go with it, right? So we're going to pop that on there. We have to find that thinking of you out of all the fabulous greetings. There it is. I love you. Happy Mother's Day. Thinking of you. Sending hugs. That feels like there's two sheets there, but I don't think there is. They're nice and thick too, obviously, since I struggled to figure out if that was one or two sheets, right? And then I'm just going to add some adhesive and pop that on there. So, like I was saying earlier, I think it's hard to make thinking of you cards for guys, but I think this one works well. We have some new gems, and I actually own 3 packs of them, but they're MIA, so they might be down at the Cozy Craft Nest. But I'm going to use the metallic gems for in the absence of the ones that I wanted to use. And here's my trio again, right? Because we always do gems or embellishments in odd numbers. That one wants to not go where I want him to go. There we go. And I left the inside blank because a lot of times on my thinking of you cards, I do. That way I have plenty of space to write a message. And there is project number 3. So let me pull the other ones back in, and you can tell me which one was your favorite today. But you can see how much easier it is using the ephemera pack. Imagine And we will play with one of the image one at some point as well. But imagine having images and greetings and being able to sit down with your young grandchild or daughter and stamp a project, stamp, quote unquote, allowing them to use ephemera pack materials to do so and being able to pick their own, right? The ephemera packs are fairly reasonably priced. I think they range between $7 and $8, um, maybe 9. But for everything that you get in that pack, I think it's pretty good. So what did you think? Which one did you like the best? Hopefully you liked them all, but which one did you like the best? The butterfly? Yeah, I like that one too. Those colors just really pop. So remember too, and I said about the boho blue, pebbled path, boho blue, copper clay, wild wheat, which I know was not our favorites. Those are all retiring this year. We'll have 5 brand new in colors coming with the new annual catalog. I will be offering my color club again as well. So if you're interested in that, keep your eye on my newsletter for access to that. And if you don't get my newsletter, the subscription is listed in the link is listed in the description below the video. So you can sign up for that. But those colors will be retiring. So everything that comes in those colors, if it's an embellishment, if it's ribbon, if it's cardstock, etc. So when that gets announced, typically things go pretty fast. So if there's some stock up there that you want to do, like me with the boho blue cardstock, make sure you do it sooner rather than later because it may sell out for you. Last card. Oh, okay, good. You like the masculine one and the flower. Well, hey, that's why you do 3 cards, right? Because everybody likes something a little bit different. I appreciate you guys hanging out with me today and watching and commenting. Share the video if you would and give me a thumbs up. And I will be giving those cards away next Tuesday. Just want to make sure. Yes, I am in town next Tuesday, and then I'm leaving for Raleigh. So that'll be exciting and interesting to go to convention. I've been to on stage in a very long time, so that'll be fun. And then I'll be back with you guys on the 17th over on my Facebook page. I believe that's Sunday night. So I hope to see you then. I'll be there this Sunday as well. Take care. Have a great rest of your Tuesday. Go eat a Fosnot for me, and I'll see you soon. Thanks, everyone. Bye.